Hello and welcome to this segment of the Enviro House how-to on yarn dryer balls. I'm Megan Stowe and we're going to walk through what you need, how to put them together, and how to use them and why you should want to. So I'm going to start with what we need in order to get started. So you need some sort, and I have two different varieties, some sort of a 100% wool yarn. Again, there's two separate varieties. What you're really looking for is something that's going to go do what's called the felting process when it's washed and dried. You're going to need your trusty crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and some sort of nylons. It does not matter the color. As you can see here, we have the nude variety as well as the blue variety. So to start out, we can move all of this to the side because we aren't going to need it yet. And I'm going to go ahead and start with this wool. I've already started using some of this wool yarn. From each skein, and a skein is just what you're going to buy at the store. With a skein, you're going to get about 4 to 6 yarn balls out of it, depending on how big you make them. You're going to want to make them about the size of a softball or a baseball. So, and that depends on what you want. So when we start, we're going to make our 3 fingers, and this is for all of you knitters or crocheters at home. This is just making yarn balls. So you're going to start with your 3 fingers and you're going to wrap it around several times till you get a pretty good amount. And then you're going to take it off of your fingers like this. And then you're just going to pinch it together, and then you're going to roll around the center to lock that in. So there's just a lot of going around here. And then we're gonna switch our positioning, and we're gonna go around the ends to bring in those. And so pretty soon what we're gonna have start to happen is the start of a ball is going to emerge here, and then you wanna go on a diagonal. So what I'm trying to do, as you can see here, is make sure that all of those little end caps are all tucked in. So all these little pieces, we wanna make sure get nice and tucked in there. And so we're just gonna keep doing that. And we're going to keep going around here. As you can see, I still have some, so I want to come back around, pinch it off, and come back around to capture that piece. So this process is going to keep going for at least 10 minutes. If you're really fast and good at it, you can do it faster. If you're not as good at it, it could take you longer. It's a great time to do this on the couch in front of the TV. Plug in your favorite movie or your show or whatever you want to watch and just start doing this process. So as you can see, it's starting to make this ball. One of the great things about dryer balls, and one of the reasons to do a wool dryer ball instead of dryer sheets, is that it saves you from all the chemicals that are on those dryer sheets. It also allows you to avoid longer dry cycles. So the 100% wool will actually help wick away the moisture. It absorbs that moisture and will dry during the drying process, which actually speeds up drying. The other nice thing about wool dryer balls is that they do last you a lot longer. So they are not a one-use thing, they're a multiple-use thing. I find that I like to use the same set of 3. 3 works well in my dryer for about a year to a year and a half before I really need to start thinking about making them again. And the reason for that is they just start to wear out. Like most things, they start to fray or want to start to come apart. That's just been my experience with them. And so you keep going on this method here until you get to about the size of a softball or a baseball. I like to do 3 in my dryer because 3 helps keep my sheets moving, it keeps them bouncing about, and it seems to work really well. So you're going to get to about this size. As you can see, you're going to clip this off with your scissors. You're going to take that, you're going to cut it, and you're going to end up with a tail. This is where you need your trusty crochet hook. So you take your crochet hook and you're going to find a purchase point. So right here, there's a set of 4, and I'm going to slide that crochet hook under, and then I'm going to come through and I'm going to grab it and pull it through, all the way through, like so. And then I'm going to do it again. If you've ever finished an Afghan or something like that. It's the exact same idea. If you don't capture it, just pull it out, stick it back in and try it again. If it doesn't come out correctly, it's not a big deal. So once you get that all set in, it will end up coming through, and you want this tail to not be out at all. So we're gonna go one more time to make sure that it gets tucked under all the way, and now you've sealed off your yarn ball. So the next thing you're going to do is you need your yarn ball to go through what's called a felting process. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your yarn ball and you're gonna stick it into your nylon. Now, I did another ball earlier. I did a couple earlier than this, so we're gonna stick that one in too. And then you can tie these off in between. Actually, let's do that. Let's tie this off in between, just to keep them from bouncing into each other so that they get a better felting process. So you can do this. And then you can go like this and tie that off again. And then what I like to do is send this through the washing machine on a hot cycle. So I will add these in their nylons into the either the towels load or a sheets load, and then they go through the wash cycle on hot, and then they go through the dry cycle on hot. The best thing to do for felting is to go at least 2 cycles. 3 is preferable. So once you've done that, and you've washed these, washed them and dried them, they're going to come out starting to look like this. And you'll notice, if we look back at this one, the difference is it's really started to felt. So the individual strands, and you can see it really well here. And this one only went through once, one wash and one dry, so it needs a couple more. But you can see that the single strands of yarn are starting to kind of come together and be one piece, whereas with this one, you can see they're very individual and they're very bumpy. So what you're looking for in the felting process is for them to all start to come together. So once you've washed and dried 3 times, they are ready to be used. Like I said earlier, I like to use 3 at a time. I find that that's the right amount for my dryer to keep the sheets bouncing about, towels bouncing about, so they don't get as wound up. When I pull those loads out, I just set the dryer balls on top and then can throw them back into the dryer for the next load of laundry. Thank you for watching this EnviroHouse how-to on wool dryer balls. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you want to leave a comment, please do. And we're always happy to have you subscribe.